Captain America Civil War coming out soon and Spidey joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I thought now would be a good time to review the Spider-Man movies. Of course, the Raimi movies, but if we get enough time, we're going to do the new ones, you know, the hipster remakes. So with me is HG Jake here. Hey, Jake.
The hip. What's up, man?
So, Jake, what do you think of Spider-Man as a character?
I think he's a cool character. He's my second favorite superhero next to Batman. And next to me, I have a bunch of Spider-Man comic books.
While I don't have a bunch of Spider-Man comic books next to me, I do have this figure of Admiral Akbar. My lips are probably not even in sync right now, but whatever, we're trying new stuff. If you don't like it, minimize it and put it on your iDevice and go jogging, go rob a bank. Listen to us while you're robbing a bank. Spider-Man's gotta be one of my favorite movie heroes. Like, he's my favorite superhero of all time. Especially with Marvel, he's like right there with Hulk. You know, I love the Hulk. But I actually remember owning a copy of this movie on VHS, you know, when those were still being made. But while I don't have the original copy because my mom sold it in a yard sale, I do got my old DVD of it. Tell us about, do you like Spider-Man? Do you like collect comics or anything?
Yeah, I got some over here. Yeah, I like to package my stuff up. I got like this. On my Instagram, that is instagram.com/jcarnes. I do like comic book hunting.
So
Yeah, when I was in kindergarten, we had like lockers, or no, it wasn't kindergarten. It was second grade. We had like lockers in the classroom to like put all our stuff in, and when the teacher would leave the room, we would all huddle to this one section of the room where the lockers were, and we would trade comic books. And one day she caught us, and it was really embarrassing because she was like, what are you guys handing over there? And she thought it was something really bad, and then we were like, it's just Spider-Man. She called us losers.
So before I talk about this movie, I've got to talk about how much I loved Spider-Man when I was a little kid. You know, I used to have those little Spider-Man web shooters. They shot the little silly string. You'd put them on your wrist. You know those?
Those are amazing.
I remember hopping on the back of this couch in my living room. I thought that this was when I first got them. I thought that they were like real, like I could shoot a web out and swing. So what I did was I got on the back of the couch, I raised my arm up, shot one at the wall. I jumped off the couch and I busted my chin open on the floor. And that's not all. You know how doorways, they're like all narrow and stuff? I would like
You used to climb up those?
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing. You have your feet and like your arms, and you're like...
Yeah, like do it all crazy. And this is probably the dumbest thing I did. We had this VHS tape, okay? It was a blank VHS tape, and you could like tape over stuff on TV.
Yeah.
For some reason, we taped over this Kim Possible special. I forgot which one it was, but whatever. It was really cool. Kim Possible, everybody. And I thought that, hey, if I write Spider-Man 3 on the blank thing, this VHS copy will magically turn into Spider-Man 3, and I will be able to see it before everyone else. God, I was an idiot.
Very wrong.
Yeah, I'm still an idiot, though.
Some poor schmuck out there probably got like the bootleg copy of yours at like a garage sale.
Yeah.
They were all excited and stuff. They get it, and all they see is "What's the sitch?" Ding 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 ding, and they're all disappointed.
You know, I actually remember growing up watching all those old Spider-Man shows. You know, like the 1960s one.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
So when I heard there was this,
Eyes.
So when I heard there was this Spider-Man movie coming out, I like lost my mind. Okay, you know, when this was 2002, I was probably 3 years old. I probably like crapped my pants, and like 2 years later, I'm like, Spider-Man, what's that?
Yeah.
You got any past experience like watching the shows or anything?
Yeah, I watched Spider-Man the animated series that loosely followed the comic books from like the 90s, and then I watched it was on Spider-Man. It was on MTV. It was called Spider-Man, and it had God, what was his name? Spider-Man MTV Showcast.
Here is some information about Spider-Man, the new animated
Neil Patrick Harris. I didn't even need Google. As soon as it was like reading it off, I don't even need it. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, you did. That's
And
how
that
it
is
works. We're gonna talk about casting, okay? All right, Jake. I'm gonna say this right now. Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man, okay? I don't care if it wasn't like the comics. I don't care if he didn't crack enough one-liners. I don't care if he had organic web shooters. I don't care that the suit isn't like the one in the comics. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield is a douchebag running around dressed as Spider-Man.
I mean, if you put it to that, I like Tobey Maguire. He's my favorite Spider-Man, mainly for the fact that it's nostalgia. I think that's pretty much what this is based on. Uh, um, God, what's his name? Andrew Garfield is the closest thing to the comic book Spider-Man, but Tobey Maguire is my favorite, just because I grew up on him and stuff.
Let's talk about some casting more. William Dafoe being cast as the Green Goblin. I thought he was great because you could tell that Dafoe, he was wanting to do this role because, he wasn't just doing this to get his paycheck like Michael Caine in Jaws 3. That was a god-awful movie, by the way. Like, you
Yeah,
could tell
the
he,
awful 3D.
you could tell,
With the shark.
yeah, yeah. And, like, he did most of his own stunts. Like, he told the costume guys, hey, I want you to make the suit like this so I could do most of my own stunts. And, like, that takes dedication. Like, I respect an actor who's willing to do their own stunts. Like, I don't know if it was in his contract or anything or if he negotiated with it. But, yeah, actors who do their own stunts and work the script to the way, like you said with Ben Affleck, he worked the script so he could portray the character better. Like, that's dedication, and I respect actors
Yeah,
who do that.
I like Willem Dafoe. I think he can act in pretty much anything. And in this, like, he pretty much plays two characters in this whole film. Like, there's like one portion. I mean, you've probably seen the movie because it's like 15 years old or whatever. There's a part where he's like looking in this mirror. And he's playing the Goblin, and he's also playing
Himself.
Norman Osborn. Yeah, and he's playing these multiple characters, but all at the same time. And it's just a really good job.
Yeah, I like the
I
line.
love every single movie Willem Dafoe's in.
James Franco, he was good as Harry. Like, I'm not gonna talk about him much because he's more of an important character in the other two movies.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
he doesn't really play a big role, but Spider-Man 2 and 3 plays an
oh,
amazing.
yeah, we're gonna get to those, Jake. Don't worry about that. Kirsten Dunst, is that how you say it? Kirsten
Yeah,
Dunst?
Kirsten Dunst. Yeah,
She was okay as Mary Jane. Like, I'm not the one to talk much about relationships and damsels in distress, probably because I've never been one. So, Jake, could you probably talk about the relationship between Peter Parker and Mary Jane?
well you see, Evan, when a man and a woman love each other, the man will often bring the woman to his house, and then love happens. The next morning, he puts her in his trunk with some duct tape and rope, and he just wraps her all up, puts her in a trunk, takes her to the docks, and just dumps her off. That's how me and my significant other met. Yeah.
J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson has got to be the greatest casting choice in the history of cinema. You know what?
He plays it so good.
Listen to this.
Every single thing he's in is
You want to know
great.
something that I like to have a little theory?
Yeah.
I actually believe he was so good that in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they chose to have him appear only through a text because they could not get another actor to play the role so well. Like,
Honestly, probably.
yeah, like,
Like, I wouldn't doubt that.
I don't know. I forgot the actors and the actor and the actress that did, Uncle Ben and Aunt May, but they were great.
Oh, that is Rosemary Harris and Cliff Robertson. Yeah.
Yeah, they were great, man. Like, literally, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Which Cliff Robertson died in like 2011 or something like that.
wow. Now I'm
Yeah.
sad. Uncle Ben is really dead. Oh my god. Let's talk about the effects of this movie. Like, half the time, I can't tell if something's practical and done with stunt work or if it's all CG.
Yeah.
Like, when I see him swinging around New York City, I don't think he's in front of a green screen. I really think he's actually swinging
yeah, a lot
through
of
New York
that.
City.
A good portion of that is practical effects. It's all with wires and stuff, but
Yeah.
but also a good portion of that, like when he's in like the suit and stuff. A lot of that is also CG, but it's done very well.
Yeah.
The only part with like really cheesy CG, but you can kind of forgive it because it's a children's film, if you can really even call these children's films, is the part where Green Goblin, when they're having the Macy's Day Parade, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's when the Goblin flies by and he's like, ha ha, ha. He throws this bomb and it blows up to
the
all the
skeletons.
all the Oscorp people who are there that did Norman wrong. They all just turn into skeletons, and it just looks so cheesy.
Yeah.
But I love it though.
Yeah. Like, the effects in this movie are good, and they actually still uphold to this day, really. These are some really good effects. Like, they
Yeah.
blended so well. Like, every now and then, but you can forgive it, because it's 2002, and it still holds up, like,
If I'm correct,
14 years later, Jake. Wow. No, let's talk about the score. The score for this movie is amazing. You know, for people who don't know, score is soundtrack, but it's all audio and it's made specifically for that film. So, like, you know, the
Yeah.
Star Wars theme, that's score, you know. So, you know, when I heard the opening theme the last time I watched this, it honestly gave me goosebumps. It was,
I really like the because they have like an orchestra through a lot of it. I think they did a really good job on the audio. Like the music, like when it's like the ending part with the credits, like right before that, he's like, "Who am I? I'm Spider-Man,"
yeah, then it
and
gets the
it's like,
swinging
yeah, and it's
sequence.
like, "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. They did a fantastic job with the whole film has good audio.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah,
I actually, like, this was like when I was 5, I guess. I actually used to
yeah.
climb the stairs in my house, and I'd imagine, like, the music playing, because it's like, dun, 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 dun. You know, I actually kind of think this is the reason my new house is 1 story only, to be honest. Okay, let's talk about the suit, you know, because I think that the suit, it's one of the best designed superhero costumes in live action movie to date. Like, you know, people always whine about, like, the eyes being wrong and stuff, but to be honest, I don't
I
mind
mean,
them.
yeah, I mean, you have to compromise for everything, and I think the eyes are really good. I think the whole suit's really good. I mean, personally, for me, I think the best Spider-Man suit is the Amazing Spider-Man 2
Yeah,
suit.
huge upgrade
Mainly,
from the Amazing
yeah,
Spider-Man.
mainly because that suit is like, it's the closest thing to comic books that you're going to get.
Yeah, like
Like, it
Ben
is
Affleck as
really,
Batman, that
really,
suit.
really close. It is really good.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna talk about something this movie did that not too many superhero movies do today. It's like, because you know, most superhero movies today, they're just so focused on setting up this whole universe that's connected. You've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it keeps on growing and growing, you know. But what I like about Spider-Man, it just didn't try anything like that. It just focused on its own
Yeah,
story.
it's its own thing.
It just didn't do anything extra. It's like, hey, this is Spider-Man. This is all you need. But what I actually did hear was that they were originally going to have Wolverine be in this movie, but, you know, they decided not to, and I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I just want more
Yeah.
Spidey, even though Spidey and Wolverine do run into each other a lot in the comics, and that's the
Personally,
reason.
I think when you add a bunch of superheroes to one thing, it takes off from like the main reason why you came to watch the movie. It's like even though I like that though, because you're getting more heroes in one film, but I don't like when it's like, oh, this is a Spider-Man film. Also it has Wolverine. Also it has Captain America. Also the Hulk is going to be in it for 10 minutes. Also I hear Ant-Man's got like it's all just building up onto one big thing and it's like, but I just want Spider-Man.
Just want
Like
more Spider-Man.
I paid for Spider-Man. It's like if you pay for dark chocolate, you shouldn't get that bullshit excuse for chocolate that is white chocolate. Okay?
Well, you gotta get white
Okay.
chocolate. I'm joking. You know, while we're not going to talk about the whole plot, because this movie is 14 years old, good God, we're...
You should have seen it.
Yeah, like, I don't even need to put spoilers in the title.
Go out, buy them, and pirate the movie. Don't even buy the movie, okay? They made millions of dollars off it. Just pirate the movie. Go to putlocker.com/.
They'll come after us again, Jake. So we're not going to talk about the whole plot, but we are going to talk about our favorite scenes. Like, one of my favorite scenes is when he's first getting his powers and he's like jumping on the rooftops.
That is so
I
cool.
still laugh when he swings across the street and he just slams into that billboard.
Yeah. Or when he's trying out his powers and he's like,
Go Web!
"Go Web, go!"
Go!
It's
Go
so
Web, go!
yeah. What does he do for that?
He's like,
"Go,
like
go
this-
Web, go!"
he's like in
And
an
he's like
AC/DC.
moving his hand. Yeah.
I think that's actually making fun of the original 60s Spider-Man, because in the original 60s Spider-Man, he didn't go. He like literally sometimes would just like.
Yeah, he just hold his hand out and then it's there it is.
You know,
I liked that final scene, not the final scene, the final fight between Goblin and Spider-Man. I think that is such a cool thing where it's just, they go through walls and stuff and the costume's all bloody and like the half the face is like blown out from like explosions and they're bleeding and it's really cool and it's just so well done.
You know, one of my favorite parts for cinematography, it's where, you know, after the wrestling event and he found Uncle Ben shot, it's where he's running around and he's swinging, but there's this one shot, it's where they have the camera fixed in front of the sirens of a police car and you see the lights and it shows that
Yeah.
he's chasing after them and he's swinging and it's like this one long shot. I'm like, dude, that is shot
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, and he's doing like a dance in midair. It's so choreographed beautifully. Just everything about that shot is fantastic. The lighting, the angles, the way it follows Spider-Man in like a an exact way where the camera just pans over and just shows him. And it's showing angles from like behind him, in front of him, under him, and just everything like that. I think it's a really, really good shot.
Yeah. You know how you and me we like stand-up comedy, right? I don't
Yeah.
know if you'll get this one, but remember the scene where he first gets they're doing the little montage of him saving people and stuff, and his newspaper clippings and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
interviewing people, and it cuts to that guy. He's like singing on his guitar in the subway, but then they
Yeah.
cut to the one guy. They cut to Jim Norton going, "He stinks, and I don't like him."
Yeah.
And like I was watching that yesterday, I was like, "Get the freak out of here, Jim Norton." We talked about this a bit earlier, but the fights in this movie, Jake, they're just brilliant, aren't they? Like the choreography is
Yeah.
great.
They're really good.
It looks like more like a straight. They're balling. They don't know any fancy moves. Like Spider-Man, he'll be like using his webs. He pulls Goblin near him, but then sometimes he'll like swing and slam into people and like clothesline them, and I think that's just awesome. It's fights like these that just make me love action movies, because I'll be watching some movies and I'm
Yeah.
like, this looks too choreographed, like they rehearsed it, they know what's gonna happen. Nobody fights this perfect, but when you see two guys just
It's
going
very
at it,
gritty
oh,
because they're just going into each
like
other.
they're
Like that
spitting out
again,
blood.
again where that final scene is where they're hitting each other in that building that's been blown up. They're like trading punches and they're just hitting each other back and forth.
And you can tell that
And
it's a real
really,
fight
really
because,
good. Yeah.
they don't keep going on. You can see they're spitting out blood, they're getting tired, they're sweating, they're out of breath. That's what happens in a real
It
fight.
looks really, really good. I also like the scene where it's God, when is it? Is it it's when I forget what happens beforehand, but Spider-Man is kidnapped by the Green Goblin,
Oh, it's
and he's
whenever he
like,
shows up at the Daily Bugle, then the Goblin shows up too.
okay, yeah, and he hits him with the gas. He's like, "Are you with me or are you not?" And he's explaining, and Spider-Man's like he's sitting there and he's all tired and stuff. I love that whole scene because it's him and the Goblin just kind of just talking to each other, and like it's not actiony or anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have any like advancement to
It's
the
all
plot.
dialogue.
Yeah, but it's mainly just two, like it's a hero and a villain talking, but they're kind of like buddy buddy in a way because they're not going after each other.
See, it's
And the Green
it's this.
Goblin, yeah, the Green Goblin, like he's been up there for a while, and he's like tapping him on the shoulder and
He's like, "Hey,
stuff, and
buddy,
it's
come
really.
on, I've had 3 cigarettes. Come on, let's get going. You want
Come
a
on,
cigarette,
buddy. I'm getting
Spider-Man?"
paid. I'm getting paid on the hour. Come on, buddy.
Come on, Spider-Man. See,
Come on, Spider-Man.
are you in or are you out? That's my best William Dafoe impression. We covered some key points here. I guess this would be kind of our first review because the last one, Batman vs Superman, we basically had the Wikipedia pulled up and we were just talking about the plot.
I mean, it was a good review.
Yeah, it was a good review. Watch the review, please. We need views. Yeah,
Please give us your money.
we're not really making money. Yes, we are. I'm just lying to make you feel sympathy for us. Yeah, so it's a great movie. I believe it set the standards, and I don't think without Spider-Man we wouldn't be having like our Marvel movies today. And those are great movies. It's not just a great comic book movie. It's a great movie. This is a bit of nostalgia, obviously, but I'm also taking some of the facts. Like I would give Spider-Man an A minus. What would you give it, Jake?
I'm gonna give it. Could have given an A.
An A?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Barker, because we gave the movie an A, you should give us an A on our project. Jake has no idea who I'm talking about.
I don't even know what day it is.
So, I'm Evan the Rebel. This is HG If you liked our review, please check out our individual videos, and we will see you in the next review.